Welcome to Real Wild Cinema. As always, we've cut our films down so that you can spend more time with me, your hostess, Sandra Bernhard. In 1957, Hercules, starring the immortal beefcake Steve Reeves, was a real surprise hit in this country. Kids loved Hercules movies, and the great bods brought in the adults. U.S. distributors scrambled to import more toga epics: Hercules, Goliath, Sinbad, Samson. The heroes, much like their togas, were pretty interchangeable. The first short is called Mondo Bellardo, and it's narrated by Boris Karloff. So what are Mondo movies, you might ask? Well, they really aren't movies. They're more like fake documentaries about bizarre rituals from around the world. You know the stuff: chickens smoking cigarettes, religious fanatics washing a stairway with their tongues, or people eating fried insects. This particular short might have been an early inspiration for today's popular behind the scenes of the making of those swimsuit issues, but that's purely speculation on my part. Enjoy Mondo Bellardo, Making of a Muscle Man.
Atlas was a strong man, and he was reincarnated as a book of maps. Ajax was a powerhouse, and he came back as a detergent. But Hercules, mightiest of all strong men, has dozens of reincarnations, all of them working in historical, biblical, colossal films, performing superhuman exploits against the bad guys. Real heroes of the studio laborers who, at the end of each scene, have to carry away on their shoulders, without effort, uprooted columns, mountains that have been split in two, and the remains of wrecked temples.
Thanks, Boris. That was Mondo Bellardo, not to be confused with Mondo Con, Mondo Pazzo, or Mondo Bizarro. Every Friday afternoon, my maid does this whole thing where she makes you think she's cleaning under everything. It's truly bizarre. I'd like to call it Mondo Susie, after my maid. We'll be right back with the Conqueror of Atlantis after these tips on how to achieve perfect posture, just like the muscle men you're witnessing tonight. And you didn't think you were going to learn anything?
Good posture makes you look important. And, as your neighborhood policeman will tell you, standing properly also helps keep you from getting tired. This nurse, who spends most of the day on her feet, would agree with the policeman. Good posture helps her keep going. And this salesman knows that when he walks properly, he feels well the whole day long. Good posture is important in any occupation.
We'll be back with more Real Wild Cinema after this. According to legend, the city of Atlantis was once an island in the Atlantic that was swallowed up in an earthquake and is now under the sea. This next clip, Conqueror of Atlantis, features plenty of beautiful women and hunky men who must have had some pretty awesome earthquake survival kits, but a bad relocation service. You see, they all live together in this beautiful city built on top of a volcano, much like my Spanish bungalow that sits on a fault line. No doubt they didn't have volcano insurance, and as you'll see, it was a drag they didn't. Watch for the fabulous queen who lives in a crater. She looks like Cher in the old days. You know, back when she played Vegas, before she jumped on the infomercial highway.
May the gods protect you, Asu.
Tell me what happened.
It was the phantoms. They were searching for their queen.
It seems that we're in the hands of a devilish power. But if I can discover him, by the sword of my... What's that strange noise? Get back, car!
My lord, wake up!
They've taken my daughter, Virna. There's not a moment to lose. We must go after them at once.
No, you stay. You'll never make it.
We'll go, Hercules and I. Guards, come here.
Car, where are the horses?
They've been scattered. We'll have to abandon the pursuit.
Never. Even if I have to cross the desert on foot, somehow I'll find her.
Virna! Wait for me.
Hercules.
By all that's holy, these tracks lead directly toward the mountain of the dead ones.
Get up and follow me.
Out of our way!
Welcome to you, strangers. I bid you welcome to our royal palace. I was most curious to make your acquaintance. The news of your arrival has brought with it a certain amount of confusion.
But why don't you tell everyone about your existence here? Why do you have to hide away in this crater?
If your world found out that the legendary Atlantis actually exists, and that the last remnants of its people are still alive, then driven by curiosity and greed, hordes of your people would pour in here to steal our wealth and scientific inventions.
And it is our aim to restore to glory, within a brief period of time, the empire of Atlantis.
I've lived too long to desire the experience of eternal life. Since I began to feel that my death was near, I had a search made for my successor in accordance with our ancient laws. Virna will succeed to the throne, and her reign will last for many years.
Our golden phantoms. You see, the sheiks all blame one another for the misdeeds of my little golden children.
Of course. The peoples of the desert will certainly get together one day, and then they are going to make you pay a heavy price for all of the misery that you have brought down upon their heads.
A rotor that supplies the energy vital to our entire city.
What the devil is happening now?
This palace is built upon an enormous cushion of gas under pressure that constantly gushes up from the heart of a volcano. Come over here. The pressure is regulated by these levers, opening up various safety valves situated in all four corners of the city.
Raise that lever, or we'll all be blown to pieces. Obey me, you fool, or I'll kill you this very moment. Move faster, faster, you swine. Push harder. If we don't exterminate them, they'll spread death and terror through all our villages.
Perhaps I can be useful for once.
Wow, don't you just love happy endings? I don't want to diminish the efforts of our hunky hero, but wasn't it awfully convenient to have that villain just blurt out the secret on how to destroy his city? And how about that cast of thousands I promised? Something, huh? Every one of those people worked for a bologna sandwich and a snapshot with a star. You know, I tend to shy away from movies that have a cast of thousands, like Braveheart. I'm sure it's great, but I have this thing where I can't go to a movie that has that many extras. It's too confusing. Next, our feature, Medusa versus the son of Hercules, and a conversation with my special guest. Our guest tonight has left a lasting impression on everyone who ever saw her kick butt in Russ Meyer's masterpiece, Faster, Pussycat, Kill, Kill. Here's the fabulous Turra Satana. So you made 2 movies with Ted V. Michaels. What was it like working on these low budgets?
Working on those films was kind of just a kick in the butt, really.
While we're on that theme.
Yeah, it was basically you did everything tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
You know, you just played around and you played it by ear, mostly, you know, with him. He had his scripts and you followed his scripts. Except every once in a while, we'd have a little personality conflict.
Oh, really?
You know, yeah. And then every once in a while, I'd have to kick him around, and I'd get...
And he probably loved every minute of that.
Did. Yes, he does.
Are you still friends with him?
Oh, yes. Uh-huh. Yes, we are. We're still friends. I talk to him every so often.
And you worked with John Carradine
yes.
in Astro Zombies?
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, he's a kick in the head. He really was. He was one of the sweetest guys in the world. Every time I had to have body makeup on because my costumes were all very
revealing.
Very revealing. So I had to make sure that everything matched. Anyway, every time I'd have to go in the morning, he was always there.
Oh, so he would like...
I was there, standing in just my pants and bra,
right.
And he was there.
And it probably was like he nonplussed. He probably didn't even like react
to it. Oh, no, he used to come in and he used to say, God, if I was only 30 years older. And I look at him and say, God, if I was only 30 years younger.
Oh, that's brilliant. It's funny.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Well, those must have been incredible times.
Oh,
I
yes.
mean, just like the openness and the freedom, and just to be able to do what you want in a film like that with no studio hanging over you. And
Well, yeah, mostly it was everything was shot on location all the time.
yeah, so
you know,
nobody was around trying to pull the reins in.
That's true, except, let's see, we used Peter Falk's house for Astro Zombies and part of my house for Astro Zombies. The car I drove was my car. You know, I mean, low-budget films are like that. You have to use or improvise with whatever you have.
Wow. We're going to hang out, and you're going to stay with me, please.
Sure.
Please don't leave. We're going to watch our feature.
Okay.
And then we're going to come back. Tonight's feature, Medusa versus the Son of Hercules, was made in 1962 and directed by Albert D. Martino. In mythology, Medusa is a gorgon, an evil witch with snakes instead of hair. And if you look into her eyes, you immediately turn to stone. Don't get too scared. This Medusa looks more like a walking tree trunk from a bad Halloween party. Enjoy part 1 of Medusa versus the Son of Hercules. It's one hell of a Greek tragedy.
Sons of Hercules.
My prince, this road is leading us into the dragon's country. We ought to avoid it and find a way that will take us further inland. The men are beginning to worry.
Here, we haven't a chance. We have to run for it. At a gallop! That way.
The Valley of the Petrified Man! That means we're lost, Prince Alceus! The victims is the Medusa!
There's no use riding any farther. That would be foolish. If the Medusa should take us by surprise, our flight is hopeless. We must wait for her here and attack her with all our force. But don't let her look you in the eye, whatever you do, for that's how she turns men to stone.
There she is!
We'll go back to Argos.
Turn back to Argos!
I'm afraid a war is inevitable now. Perhaps it will be the ruin of my people.
Wars are decided on battlefields. And besides, you have me.
We're too few, even if you are with us. In a war with Argus, we'd be unprotected. All the best warriors we had been eaten by the dragon, or else they'd been turned into stone by the Medusa. And one of them was my brother, Alpheus.
I know. Those monsters make Argus undefeatable. They say that if the Medusa dies, the stones will come back to life again. Is that true?
I only know that it's an ancient legend. There's no way of knowing whether it's true or not. The Medusa may live forever.
We still have one chance, Andromeda. I'll speak to the king. Perhaps I can convince him.
But that's too great a risk for you to take.
I'll have to try. Get on your horse.
To your horses. Escort the princess back to Serapis.
Long live Perseus!
That should convince you that you've seen the last of Perseus. We can go back to Argos. We'll collect the army, and as soon as possible, we'll invade Serapis.
It's not bad enough our hero has to deal with Medusa. Now he has to battle creepy monsters. Stick around. I think I'm falling in love with that handsome son of Hercules. You don't think he's gonna die, do you? But I'm sort of in love with the Medusa as well. Please don't make me choose. It's so frustrating to be just a spectator in life, isn't it? Might as well grab a little vino, a little angel hair, a little tiramisu, and prepare for an exciting mano-a-mano finale, complete with a dramatic death scene. Enjoy the eye-slashing conclusion of Medusa versus the really cute son of Hercules.
All my men were scattered or cut to pieces, but at least the dragon is dead. Now Argus is open to invasion on that side. If your army can launch a surprise attack, the war will be over. Acrisius thinks I'm dead. He's preparing to attack you. We better attack him first.
Very well. And may the gods protect you, my boy. Assemble the men. We're leaving at once.
I always knew that one day you would save my country.
We've only one hope left. I'll find the men who scattered into the forest and we'll attack Acrisius.
Stay here with us. We need you right here.
You must trust me.
Help me. Help me. What happened? A trap was set for us. The few who managed to fight their way out and avoided being captured have all been turned to stone. In the valley of the Medusa. There's no hope any longer.
Yes, there is. I'll go to the valley of the Medusa and bring them back.
There's no use trying. Others have thought they could. Before you.
The valley is filled with our men. Alcaeus and his companions. I will have to try.
The Medusa is dead! You must come back to life! The Medusa is dead! I killed her myself! I killed the Medusa! I killed her so that you could all come back to life and carry out our vengeance! We've been set free.
The spell is broken. The Medusa must be dead.
It's a miracle.
You're Alceus, the son of the king of Serapos.
Be immortal.
As long as there is me, there'll be sons of Hercules.
Medusa is dead. I killed the Medusa. The Medusa is dead. How cool would that be if someone killed the person that killed you and then you came back to life? Wouldn't it be embarrassing if you forgot to thank the person and just ran off to go party? Grab some calcium pills, get those shoulders back, stick those breasts out, and we'll be back with more of our guests and some Japanese monsters! We're back with a multi-talented and just wonderful person, Turra Satana. You got your start in Irma la Douce with Shirley MacLaine.
Right.
What did you do in that movie?
I was one of the streetwalkers.
Oh, wow.
I played Suzette Wong there.
You played a Chinese woman?
Yes, played a very voluptuous Chinese woman.
Very voluptuous. I don't think I've seen any of recent date that were as voluptuous as you. What was that experience? Was Shirley nice? Was she cool to work with?
Oh, she's a very cool person to work with. So is Jack Lemmon.
Yeah, Jack's great.
Jack is really a cool person to work with, too. And we used to have so much fun because on my costumes, we had tassels.
Right.
On my costumes, and whenever I was off camera, I used to have to start spinning them just to get reactions from different people as they walked by.
And I bet they loved that.
They did.
Was that like one of your specialties, was spinning tassels?
When I was a dancer, yeah.
Did you spin them in opposite directions?
Yes, and one at a time, and I used to lay flat on my back and spin one at a time, stop it, and change directions.
Woo! Man, they don't do that anymore.
No, they don't.
So, what was it like working with Russ Meyer? Because he's been on the show, and he's such a sweet guy.
Oh, Russ is just a sweetheart. He is just a kick, really. He's one of the nicest people to work with. He likes things done his way.
Yeah.
But he's flexible too. But then we also had a few arguments here and there.
Yeah, well, that keeps things interesting.
One of our biggest arguments was he said that no hanky-panky between the crew members.
Really?
And I said, no, 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 no.
You can't have double standards, right?
No, you can't. I said, hey, if you want a good reaction from me, a good working acting part, I says, then I've got to have the freedom to do what I want to do.
As a person as well, as well as an actress.
And he said, well, if that's how it's going to be. And I said, yeah, that's how it's going to be.
That's how it's going to be, baby. Otherwise, get ready to have another major butt kicking.
Yeah, that's right. Besides, once in the film, we probably would have had some with him and I. Although one time I did turn around and hit a railroad tie because I got angry at him.
With your foot?
No, with my fist.
Oh, man. Turra Satana, thank you for coming so much. You're delightful. Okay, you've seen the Italian monsters. Now it's time to move up to the big leagues and watch some Japanese monsters. When it comes to guys fighting in rubber suits in miniature cities, you can't beat the Japanese. And you know the whole sushi thing doesn't hurt either. This is the climactic scene from Magic Serpents, and it doesn't get any cooler than this. One monster breathes fire, and the other water. Out of nowhere comes a giant spider that breathes. I don't know, silly string? See if you can figure it out. we've got more abs, pecs, and scaly claws coming your way after this break. There's a legendary strongman in Italian folklore named Machiste, who's been the subject of countless movies and stories. Usually, movies made about him that get imported to America end up renaming him Samson or Hercules or just beefy guy fights tacky monsters. Here are the trailers for two of Machiste's movies, The Witch's Curse and Samson and the Seven Miracles of the World, followed by more hunky sons of Hercules.
The Witch's Curse. Now we bring to the screen the most incredible of the adventures of Machiste. Machiste, whose superhuman strength and unfailing courage spelled disaster for tyranny and freedom for the oppressed.
I must save her.
But this task is too big even for you. Give it up and return to the land of the living while you still have time.
Impossible. I must save her.
Meet Vanya, and decide whether she, with her seductive charm, is trying to help or hinder Machiste, as his search for truth leads him deeper into the unknown chaos of eternal damnation.
I belong to the devil, Paris.
The Witch's Curse.
Miraculous in his courage, pitting his strength against flesh-tearing fangs and claws. Samson, summoning a people to battle against ruthless oppressors.
I've come to rescue the princess. I'll show you a way to get to the princess.
Until next week, I'm Sandra Bernhard, and this is Real Wild Cinema. Good midnight to ya.